I'm sure you must have seen what is happening in the stock market. It is the insurance industry week, and they are just moving in their numbers. According to the report, 16 out of 17 moved in a day. 16 out of 17 Nigerian insurance stocks moved in a day. Some 10%, 9%. Even if you see the chart yesterday and even today, you will see that they are just topping the charts. So the question is why? The number one reason being the NIRA that was signed into law. NIRA, which is the Nigerian Insurance Industry Reform Act. Nigerian Insurance Industry Reform Act that was signed into law by the president of the nation. So that is what is causing the surge. And you know, when there's a reform like that, it means that the industry is going to witness a restructuring and possibly a growth. Definitely, they will not sign any act, any law, or any act that is going to be detrimental to any industry or that is going to cause the industry to decline. So what the president signed into law, the NIRA that is signed into law, is going to favor the insurance industry a lot. And going through it, I saw that okay, truly they are going to benefit from it. And it is not just the insurance industry alone. As long as there is implementation, I said that again. As long as there is implementation, because some of these things that were even signed into law, it wasn't as if they were not there prior to this time. Some of them were there, but there was no, should I say, willpower to execute those things that were in those acts. But now I want to believe that there will be execution and implementation on the part of the stakeholders who are responsible for that. Now, coming back to what we have been saying, just like I said, 16 out of 17 yesterday moved beyond their current price. And you know, the maximum they can gain in a day is 10%. If they were permitted, some of them would have moved past 10% yesterday. At the end of the video, I will talk about the two that we currently have in our portfolio, because if truly you want to have a balanced portfolio, insurance industry should be in your portfolio. Now, I also mentioned that if you are a low risk taker, please beware of the insurance industry, especially if you know you are going on a short term. Banking and insurance, the volatility is something that a low risk taker may not be able to bear. The same way you are seeing it move up now, a regulation, a news can come out tomorrow, and eventually you see people dumping it. I hope you understand, and you may be the one now bearing the losses. So just be cautious. You can have it in your portfolio, but just be cautious. I hope you understand. So I quickly want to talk about why recapitalization, and I will talk about what happens to the stocks in what is going to happen to the stocks in the insurance industry, not just on the short run, but also on the long run. So you will know, should I hold the ones that should I buy, or should I hold for the long term, or I should just get out of it? Because I always talk about, I always talk about you looking at the industry as a whole. Is it a growing industry or a declining industry? Because this will help you to make an informed decision whether to hold that stock for a long term. If it is a declining industry, for instance, maybe they've reached a maturity stage and they are now declining, maybe due to the advent of technology taking over that industry, then definitely you know that it is not something you should hold for the long term. So it is not enough just to look at the stock, what is it doing on the short term, but also vis-a-vis, look at it vis-a-vis what is it going to do on the long run. So let's go into it. Why recapitalization? The reason why they usually, so the NIRA Act, the NIRA 2025, a major part of it is recapitalization. So the insurance industry is going to go through recapitalization, and just like what happened to the banking sector of recent. If you notice that it has always been these two industry. I think it happened in 2005 for the banks, it happened in 2023, I think, for the insurance company as well. So it has always been these two. That's why I usually tell low risk takers, not the medium risk takers, not the high risk takers, but the low risk takers, that please, whenever it comes to you venturing into the stock market and you know that you are conservative, please don't delve into this, because except you know that you are going to pay attention to the news. Maybe you are always up to date when it comes to the stock market news, then you can go into it. So recapitalization. Why recapitalization? Number one, to strengthen the financial stability of the industry, to strengthen the financial stability of the company, of the industry. That's why they usually call for recapitalization. Now, to protect investors and depositors. You understand? That's why I said banking and insurance. They are the ones that usually go through this recapitalization of the thing. Then to encourage mergers and acquisition. When we say mergers and acquisition, it means they want them to be stronger. The Bible says that two are better than one, for they have a good reward for their labor. So when two of them come together or three of them come together, they build a formidable force. Just imagine what happened to the banking industry in 2005 when three of them had to come together, eventually merger and acquisition. If you look at Access Bank today, what's happened between Access Bank and Diamond Bank. I hope you get my points. Now, and the fourth point is to weed out weak players. There are weak players in the industry. Currently, according to the reports, we have 55 insurance companies in Nigeria that are registered. So they want to weed out. Maybe at the end, they may screen them down. By the time they do their merger and acquisition, and by the time they weed out the weak players, they may come down to maybe like 20 or 25 at the end, rather than having the numbers, the huge numbers, and at the end, they are not really performing. So it is better to have two that are better than one than having one and they are not solid. They cannot even stand on their feet. So to weed out weak players. Then what happens to stocks in the insurance industry? Whenever there is recapitalization, what is it that happens? So in this case now, it is recapitalization that the insurance industry wants to go through. So the question is, what is going to happen to them? Please pay attention here, especially the fifth point, because it will help you to make an informed decision whether to stay in the stock, to sell, or to buy more. I hope you understand. Let's go. Increased volatility. There will be increased volatility once there is recapitalization. That's what we are seeing in the market now. It is increased volatility. People are just, you may say that, but it started last week or it started 2 weeks ago. See, there is something we call insider information. There was an information that this bill is going to the president. So people already positioned themselves in order to enter the market. But now, the moment it was signed, that's why you are seeing the volatility now. I hope that resonates with you. Okay, let's go on. Dilution of shareholding. Dilution. This is another point you need to be aware of. This has not even happened at all. It's going to happen. When I say it's going to happen, you will understand now. Dilution of shareholding. Now, by the time they want to start this recapitalization, it has not started. It is still a news that the Naira has been signed, the Naira 2025 has been signed into law. Now, companies are going to be coming up with their models. Okay, are we going through rights issue? Are we going through public issue? What way do we intend to recapitalize? Is it through merger and acquisition? So all these questions, by the time they now start rolling out their strategy or their plan, now, any company that is going to have their shares diluted, there will be something we call dilution fears. The existing shareholders may start selling off, therefore crashing the price of those stocks. Did you get me? Did you get that point? Okay. Once existing shareholders know that the way you want to raise capital, you want to recapitalize, is by diluting their shares, existing shares. There's something we call dilution phase, and before you know it, some of them start selling out. That's number 2. Number 3, speculative buying and price surge. That's what we are seeing now. This number 3 is what we are seeing now. Increased volatility is happening, but speculation buying and price surge. This will happen to the insurance industry. This will happen. That is what you are seeing, especially for traders. Investors are not so much perturbed, except for those who want to, which I'm going to be talking here, positioning. Those who want to position. So speculative buying and price surge. That's what you are seeing currently in the market. So the question is, should you buy, should you hold, should you sell, or should you accumulate more? We will get there. It depends on your strategy. It depends on the reason why you are buying. Struggle and delisting of weak players. Now you need to also get it right. Some companies will be delisted. Some insurance company, if they can't meet up with this by the time the recapitalization circular is rolled out, some may be delisted. For instance, you had that 16 out of 17. What happened to the 17th one? Maybe it has moved today, I don't know. I have not checked the analysis today. So, struggle and delisting of weak players. Then the last but not the least, which is good for long term. The truth is, with these acts now that has been signed, there is post-recapitalization growth opportunities. Because some of the insurance we've not been doing in Nigeria, they will be mandated now. They will be mandated. I know it is only majorly the ones we know is the third-party insurance, motor insurance. But there are like 7 others that will now be mandated. For instance, the one with employees, the one in the health industry, the one with public buildings, they will be mandated. So which means more income for the insurance company, more income for them. So there will be post recapitalization growth opportunities. So the question is, what should you now do? With all this I have said, with all this I have explained, if you are going for long term, it is time to position. The question is, in which stocks should you position? Go for the stocks that have strong financials and solid background. Strong financials and solid background. For instance, if I mention the banking industry, something comes to play in your head. We first of all talk about the Fugas, which is First Bank, UBA, GTCO, Access Bank, and Zenith. Why? Because they have strong financials and solid background. So also look into the insurance industry. Which ones has solid background and also strong financials? That's number one. If you are trading, be cautious. If you are trading, be cautious. Because the way it is happening now is as if we should just jump into every insurance stock. Meanwhile, the way it is going up, you remember, like 2-3 days ago, what happened to USAN? USAN was going up. On our live on Saturday, somebody asked, should I buy USAN now? And I remember Coach Benita was saying that, no, don't chase stock. Wait for it to retrace. USAN is back, I think is at 81 naira today. So you don't chase stocks. So you never can tell when that retracement will happen. And at times, when the retracement happens, it is not immediately that it goes up. At times, it may range. So you need to get these facts. So position yourself if you are going on the long term. If you are trading, be cautious. Now for me, insurance stocks that has been in our portfolio for a while, which is ICO and Veritas Cap. ICO and Veritas Cap. That is for us. Okay, thank you so much. So if you are yet to subscribe to this channel, kindly do by clicking on the subscribe button, click on the notification bell so you can be notified whenever we release any video. So we meet in our next video. Stay blessed.